bless you, beloved. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So today's message is about who are those who suffer? What is in the suffering? This is a very beautiful message, and I invite you to listen to it fully because I know there are some beautiful bits and nuggets of truth and of gold that you will receive from it. Who are those who suffer? When Paul was in the prison, he praised the Lord. He praised the Lord. He worshiped the Lord in his heart. And that came out through song. And the door of the kingdom, power and provision was open to him. You see, we've been looking at it backwards, and religion has been looking at it backwards. We think that by simply doing the act of praising, don't get me wrong, but by simply doing the outer act of praising, it will unlock everything. But the way it's backwards is because do the act. I'm going to look this way. I'm going to put ashes on my head. I'm going to look terrible when I'm fasting or whatever. That's just religion. That's just the outward thing. But because the gospel has been told us in such a open manner, I mean, there are things that Yeshua, yes, couldn't reveal to them. He couldn't tell them because they were not ready for it, simply. Their awareness and their consciousness and their mindset was not there to even grasp those things. That was interesting. It's because the gospel has been given to us at the same time. It's like we can go through it all. We can know it all, right? We can read about it all. So it's been given to us in this open fashion, in this open manner. And it wasn't something that we went through step by step by step, by self-realization, by self-experiencing each step of the way. Then it had this possibility or this potential to become a religion, an acting thing. So in that perspective, we look at it backwards, but it's all about the heart. 111. It's all about that place of humility and meekness where we are like children. When a child is waiting for its next meal, they don't think about when is my next meal coming? Is my next meal gonna come? Are my parents gonna remember? They don't worry about it, because once you start worrying, they disconnect themselves from the cord that they're connected to. This invisible umbilical cord that they're connected still with the Father as children. That no matter what's going on around them, they still have a sense of joy. They still have this hope. They still have this optimism. They still have this love flowing, an unconditional love. An unconditional love. They're still connected with the cord, the umbilical cord, to the Father. They're still connected to the frequency of joy where they receive their joy from the Father. That no matter if they're hungry, if they start to sense, I'm hungry, I'm getting hungry, they're not really thinking about it. They're thinking, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm coloring. I'm busy playing. I'm in the playground. I'm playing with whatever blocks. They are still very busy in their life and in their connection with the joy. With joy. They're in such a meek and humble and joyful state. Even their bodies, tummies will start grumbling and they'll start, but they're still connected with happiness. with joy, with contentment, with contentment. With contentment. They're still going about their business with joy. That is where, when I said that we've been seeing it the wrong way, this is the way to see it. That even while this was happening, they were getting beaten and they were in jail. Even while this was happening, they were still in their joy. They were like a child. They were not blaming God. They were not blaming their parent. They were still connected with joy, with love, with contentment, with peace. When a child becomes older, what happens to them that they disconnect from that joy? And now maybe they start to get angry. And now maybe as adults and teenagers later on, they start to look at everything on the outside of them to feel that joy for them now. To feel the contentment, to feel happiness, to give them those states of those frequencies, that they can be higher up in those frequencies. Taking responsibility for provision upon themselves. They start putting the responsibility maybe of somebody else's state. They start to worry, because worry is lack of trust in the provider. So that's why it says that to enter into the kingdom, for that kingdom door, that power that came into that prison and rattled and shook the whole place like an earthquake, because it was happening inside of them. It was also happening in them, that earthquake. When they were praising Him in love and joy and worship. Love, love, love to the Father. That door of the kingdom opened up, and the power, the provision of God went into them, rattled them in their meditation of praise and worship, love, and rattled everything on the outside of them too. So much peace. So, seek first the kingdom. The kingdom is for the children. The children, to be a childlike, you come into the kingdom. Thank you, Father. To be childlike, meek, gentle, humble, not seeking your own, not asking for your own, waiting for the Lord, giving the Lord, our Father, a moment. Not us going to grab what we need ourselves, but waiting for the Father maybe to ask us, or just letting go and surrendering. That's what humility is, surrendering, not seeking your own, but being content. But being content in what is now, because you're connected with the cord to the Father, and all you're doing is focusing on the frequency of the Father's kingdom, of love, of joy, of praise. That's why it says, those who suffer, what you should do in the suffering. Even while we suffer, we rejoice. We do joy again. We bring up joy within us again. How do you bring up joy? By becoming the praise and worship of love to the Father. Then it gives you joy. Giving Him a moment. Don't rush in to do it yourself. Self needs met. whatever way you think, and however fanciful and wonderful the way that you think you're going to meet your own needs and supply your own needs for that particular moment, for that particular day. Give us this day our daily bread. Whatever you think you have imagined that this is the best way for me that I could ever fulfill my need today, God has an upgraded version of that. More than you can think of or your thoughts or imagine. He has an upgraded version of that. Seek first the kingdom. Be connected to the kingdom as the children, not from a religious state by doing the action, but before that action of praise and worship, during your trial, during your suffering, during your tribulation, whatever you're going through, is connecting as that child does to the kingdom and drawing in, focusing on that. You're not focused on the fact that your stomach may be grumbling. You're not focused on the fact that you need something. You're focused on the kingdom frequencies of remaining. It is your job. That is your job as a child. You will enter into the kingdom. The doors of the kingdom will open up for you. The provider will flood in his provision in such a bountiful way that you'll just be in awe the whole time. How much God showed up and showed you how much He loves you, cares about you, dotes over you. How He's perfectly aligned even the stars in the moment to be a pleasure for your eyes to see, a perfect spot for you to be placed and find pleasure in the things even around you, because it all starts from within. And like the child, we remain in the childlike state of joy. We don't look at those things on the outside. But it is our job, it is our diligent work. This is the good work. This is the rightful work that He's given us. Connect with the kingdom. Plug into the source, the uppercase source, our Father, our Creator, the uppercase provider. A child may be hungry and not thinking, oh, when am I going to eat? They're just focusing on their own business of whatever it is. They're not thinking about the external things because they know, because they're still connected to a source, the provider. They still remember that. So now the thought, oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. So they are interested in remaining the connection, not starting to worry. When is my parent? Because they're not thinking about that. They're still connected to the Father's umbilical cord of the provider. They haven't started to take responsibility of their own self upon themselves. They haven't started to worry yet. And then the parent comes along and gives them the meal. And they are grateful, they are joyful, they are happy. Because they looked at the Father has provided this for me. They are thankful to the parent. But ultimately they link all that back up to the Father, to their source, because they're still in remembrance of their source. We have to remember our source. Become like children again. Become those meek, gentle, humble, content, remaining in the connection with the Father. It may take till 11:59. It may take till the end of the day. Those who trust in the Lord shall renew their strength. The Lord shall renew them, their strength, their physical strength, their spiritual strength, their mental strength. He shall renew the drunkenness of the Lord. in them, which is the joy overflowing. The journey is to go through the experience. It's not to read, like, go ahead, read the whole Bible, great, but it's not just to read everything and then have some kind of knowledge about it and then say, oh, it doesn't work, I read it. Yeah, but did you experience it? That's when it works. Did you come into it? Did you plug into it? That's when it works. Those who trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord during your suffering. Or I can say, trust in the Lord during your discomfort. By plugging into the kingdom. Like that electrical cord getting joy from the kingdom. Focus on the kingdom, and all these things shall be added unto you. Delight yourself in the Lord, and all these things shall be added unto you. Seek first the kingdom. Plug into the kingdom, the frequencies of the kingdom. Joy, love, peace. What's going to happen as a result of that? What we know as the action of praise and worship in love to the Lord can come through speech, can come through yelling out to the Lord, can come that cry of joy. It can come through song, dance, as David danced before the Lord. David was so much in this. He was so in it, he couldn't get out of it. He was the lover of the Father. And we are becoming a lover of the Father. Just like He is a lover to us, to our soul, we become a lover to His. To the world, even when a person is suffering, is going through sufferings, to the world, people of the world, they don't understand it. It looks like maybe that person is crazy, is what it may look like to the world, but they don't understand what is going on in the person that is going through the discomfort, that they are actually in your discomfort. I give you more grace, the Father says. In our discomfort, the Father gives us more of that frequency of heaven as long as we remain connected and plugged in to the frequency of those love, joy, peace of the heaven, of the Father. This is a beautiful mystery. This is a beautiful thing. This is how we can live, being provided. Every day of our life, He provides us. Give us this day our daily, whatever that is, right? But what is your due diligence? Just to be connected like a child. Connection of that umbilical cord to the Father. Remain in the kingdom, and all these things shall be added unto you. This is a joy that the world will never understand, will never know. Because it is an experience in the journey of it. In the power of the gospel, it is an experience. How could they say, rejoice in the Lord? Even through our sufferings, we rejoice. How can they say that? Because those who walk with the Lord are sustained. The kingdom sustains them. The door of the kingdom, the gates, the floodgates of kingdom open up into their life. Children do not look out for themselves. They trust. We have to trust. This is how we are becoming children that enter into the kingdom and live from the kingdom, from the source, from the uppercase provider. They do not look out for themselves. All they do is remain in the bubble of the kingdom of joy and love. No matter what the parent might be going through, the child can always come to the parent and say, don't worry, everything will turn out. Everything will turn out, Mommy. How can they do this? How can they do this? they're connected to a realm, a frequency of joy. This is where we have to come back into. Don't look out for yourself when you have a God who is willing to look out for you, who is ready to look out for you. Don't look out for yourself when you have a God who is waiting and ready to look out for you. Don't seek what you shall eat, for the Lord is already preparing a meal, a feast fit for royalty, because that's who you are. For we are the true royalty of this earth. Your part is to trust during and in the discomfort, but not look at the discomfort. Seek not your own comfort in the moment, but find comfort in the Lord, and he shall mount you up. Those who trust in the Lord shall be mounted up as eagles. God will mount you up. God will provide. These things are reserved for those who love him, who are a lover of his soul. Remain close to the kingdom in your discomfort. Lean into the kingdom. Don't lean into this discomfort. Don't lean into the suffering. But lean into the kingdom. Is love, peace, joy. That is what the kingdom is. It's those frequencies. Lean in quiet rest, calm, contentment, in quiet contentment, humble, meek, and gentle, not expecting something will come or anything will come. That's the thing. We don't just do it because we think something is going to come and I'm going to get something at the end. We don't even expect anything to come. That's when it comes. We truly have to find contentment in where we are right now. In whatever the present thing is, in whatever thing that you want to be upgraded or better, faster or better in our life. Find contentment by truly connecting to that frequency of love, joy, peace that is the kingdom. That fruit of joy comes with praising. So that's why they tell us in sufferings, praise. In sufferings, give your sacrifice of praise. Praise through all these things. Be thankful through all these things. That means you don't have to be thankful for the thing that is occurring. But you realize that, oh, this is for my good. And it's good for me because it's helping me to be more humble. That's how you are actually thankful because you are like a child, an optimistic, loving, looking at the Father in a totally trustworthy and loving way that the Father only does love towards me. He doesn't do any evil towards me. He's always loving towards me. We look that part of him, that he is always good. And we find optimism like a child. We find joy like a child. They always have something optimistic to say, right? If you cannot scoot yourself down to the level of a child, then you won't enter into the room. If you cannot embrace the children at their own level, then you're not humble enough to enter into the kingdom room, throne room. You know what I mean? So we do not expect anything. This is where I think we've also got it wrong. We're not expecting something. We are fully finding contentment in where we are right now, right? we are fully being able to disconnect from the discomfort by embracing the discomfort, by saying, oh, this is gonna be for my good. It is good for me. This is helping me to actually connect to the Father. This discomfort is helping me to see that I need the comfort of the Father, right? This discomfort is helping me to realize that I need the comfort of the Father and draw near to the Father's kingdom of joy, love, peace. How can we get joy, love, peace? By becoming praised. So we start thanking Him in whatever's happening, seeing the good thing. That's how humility works. Not controlling the situation, not overcoming and being like dominant over, but allowing the suffering or allowing the discomfort, knowing that is going to produce perseverance, character, love, gentleness, meekness, and also connecting to that cord of the Father's kingdom. Not expecting that you're going to receive everything, but fully finding contentment in it. Then the huge power doors comes and rattles you, that earthquake within you and your surroundings. And He makes others, people, hearts. He works in the hearts of others to provide for you, to give you, because you've already found your comfort in the Father. You're not looking for anybody else on the outside of you to give you that comfort. You've learned the lesson. Connect to the Father. Then it's the projection inside of you that the kingdom is inside of you. Go through this within you. Then you start to get that from the outside of you easily, by favor, by grace. Men give unto your bosom. So people give you, because God works in the hearts, just like He worked in the heart of Pharaoh, to harden his heart or soften his heart. But it was all for your good. Remain in your meek joy, humble joy, quiet contentment, not expecting. God wants to provide for you. But if you go ahead and open that car door for yourself and get whatever you need really fast by yourself, and I'm gonna order this, I'm gonna get this, this is what I need, this is what I need. Humility is taking a step back and saying, I can wait. Lord, ego is very impulsive. Ego wants to have it right now. But that may be a mistake. Maybe that'll get you into trouble. And then you have a big problem because of that, because you couldn't wait. Those that wait upon the Lord, He shall renew them wholly, completely. Give God a chance to be the provider, provide for you, to show you His care and His concern and how much He loves you. Not seeking your own, but remaining in the joy-like state of a child, connected with the source of the Father's kingdom, in joy, in love. Keep that frequency. Keep that frequency. It's going to draw in the kingdom, quiet, gentle, not worrying, not blaming. Why is this need not met? We're not even waiting. We're just finding the joy in the moment and realizing I'm not going to get what I need, or what I need might take many, many hours or days or years. This is how we start to live in the present moment of where the kingdom is in the present moment. Faith is now. The Father is now within your heart.